Let's look now at some things to do with songs. So we're kind of getting more into some of the finessing of prep. We've got our running order ready on the left, but there are going to be some changes you're going to have to want to check in on. It's always worth double checking things before you actually run the service. Let's take this example of 10,000 reasons. So the first thing to note is that it is looking pretty good. It's green, which is a good start. That's using our new Ivy Online template correctly. Second thing you'll see is that it's set up correctly for the sections. So you can move around sections relatively straightforwardly just by looking at different sections. And because they're labeled correctly with sections, you could either, say if you wanted to go to the chorus, you can either click the chorus, and there we go, we're in the chorus, and as ever, you move the arrow keys forward just like that. Or if now we're in sort of slide 5, you wanted to jump back to the chorus, you just press the key marked up here, the C. So if I press C, it's now going to go to the start of the chorus. So having the sections labeled correctly is really helpful because it enables you automatically. You don't have to say, I want this to start with C. If you call this chorus, then it will be triggered by a C, which is really nice. And you see this if we wanted to go jump to verse. So we've finished the chorus. If you want now to jump to verse 2, press S. It will go straight away. So that's a nice sort of navigation thing. So setting up with sections is helpful for you as an operator in navigating correctly. The other thing about getting things set up is just to check about the order of a song as well as the formatting. Now, on formatting, actually, stay with formatting, you will see that most of these have a sort of medium width black box. That's great. This one here, the beginning of the chorus, actually doesn't. The black box is too wide. So let's have a look at templates. Good opportunity to introduce templates, useful in setup. Annoyingly, these aren't called templates anymore. They're called themes for reasons I don't quite understand. But you can change them just as easily as you could in previous versions of ProPresenter by right-clicking. If you right-click on a slide here, what we're going to get is a variety of options, including themes. And we want Ivy Church Online, and we want Song Normal. You do have a Song Wider option, but for this one, we don't need it. There's not so many words. So let's choose Song Normal, and you'll see that box just come in a bit better. And then, as normally with ProPresenter, it's kept our previously clicked slide live. We want to make it this one live. We just click it again, and the audience output picks up correctly. And it's no longer highlighted in that big purple warning box. So that's something worth checking. Is just check that the formatting of all of these is looking good. It will also really help you to make sure that every song has a blank intro slide and a blank ending slide, because that enables you to remove this big black box over the cameras, and that really helps the vision mixer. So, as people are kind of setting up introing to a song, it's really good to have a blank screen like this, a green one, so it turns into transparent before you come into the words. And then if there's like a really long instrumental, or people kind of pause for praying or to say something, you take that off by going to this blank slide here. That really helps the vision mixing kind of maintain that transparency. So that's another thing about setup that's really handy. Next thing about setup is that you'll notice with online services, we're using a lot more of preset song orders. People are generally picking their song order, picking how many times they're going to do the chorus, those kind of considerations about flow of a song, and generally sticking to them. There's not so much changing around. And the reason why that's helpful to know is that you can prepare yourself for it before the service. Liaising with the worship leader, you can find out what their flow, their arrangement is going to be like, and you can preset it And that can help in a variety of ways. Firstly, it will help you in just navigating through. You can basically just go right button, right button, right button, keep moving through the song in the order agreed with the worship leader. The second thing is that the worship leader and the band will see up on their stage display the correct order. And that's really helpful as an aid memoir about song words for them. It doesn't confuse them if you're running the same order that they're running. You can still, because it's pro presenter, it's still flexible. You can still do things like you can go verse 1 and then chorus, second bit of chorus. Oh, she's gone back to the chorus. Let's go back to the beginning of the chorus. You can still do that, clicking around, very kind of random order, do whatever you like. That still works. But it will help particularly the band if the order you're working to is the same as theirs. And the way you do that is at the top. You'll see a lot more obvious buttons of things that you can do exciting stuff with now. And what we're going to look at here is the arrangement for this song. So the start here is for it just to say, what have you got here? We've got intro, chorus, verse 1, 2, 3, tag, and end. Let us make a new arrangement, and let's call it Paul track. Call it anything you like, but for the sake of this argument, we'll call it Paul track. And what we can do now is reorder things. So let's say that on this occasion, what they're doing is they're going chorus, verse 1, chorus, I'm dragging that in, and then verse 2, chorus, and then they're going to have a big, quite long pause before verse 3. So I didn't mean to do that. I meant to drag it from there, put another intro there. And then they're doing another chorus, and then repeat the chorus, and then they'll do the tag, and then they'll end. What you've seen is as I've dragged each of those down into this arrangement here, it has added them in sequence on there. So we've not had to do copy and paste, or kind of messing around like that. And now to do it in this order, all I have to do is keep going right, basically. It's just one after another after another. So it's easier for me. I can see the order I'm expecting them to do rather than being surprised later on where we kind of do chorus and, oh my word, there's another chorus. It's not a surprise. We've already agreed that's what we're doing. But the other thing it will do, and we'll come on in a moment to looking at the stage display, is it means that the worship teams see it laid out for them in the way they're expecting as well, because we're really encouraging worship teams on camera to be looking up as much as possible rather than down at their music. So it really helps them as well. And you'll see that a song can have multiple different arrangements. So let's make this Paul one. And with apologies to Paul Kirby for using his name in vain, let's do some really weird stuff with this Paul track thing here, just for the sake of this test. If you now click here and say let's go to the what's so-called normal arrangement, there, that's much more normal for this song. It is chorus 1, chorus 2, and so on. Actually, I disagree. Most people do the chorus twice at the end. So that's, and if you want to get rid of this, you see you move over it, you've got a little X to remove anything. So that's a slightly different thing that you might not have used before. You can get rid of that arrangement setup view just by clicking that repeatedly, how it kind of just toggles open or not. So that's one thing that's a bit new about how we are doing things in ProPresenter. You might be wondering how you put in things like videos. The media bin is no longer accessed out kind of by a button over here. It's all the way to the right. Click media, and then you get your list of media sort of folders here, media bins, and also the particular items themselves. So I think that's a bit odd myself, but there you go. So let's say we want to start with the Ivy theme tune, as I come to think about it, our 15-minute online intro, and the welcome. Let's drag up the end screen on there as well. So that's where you drag those things on. But obviously, once you've set up, you generally do actually want that to disappear. So click media, and it will go away. bit annoying. And then one other thing that you can do to help yourself, I personally often find that when I'm running a service, these song words are really a bit hard to see. If there's an unexpected change in the running order, I just don't find them terribly visible. You might want, therefore, to zoom in on that, and that definitely helps. Problem about that is you're going to spend more time scrolling, but you can zoom in, you know, a fair bit on that, which could really help you. There's another new feature which is really handy for, think for a lot of us who would like a slightly more zoomed out view, and it's down here, this T button. At the moment, we're viewing the items in this service as a grid. If you click T, it's called Easy View. Basically, it's text-based view. Watch what happens. That's now a really, really easy view of song words. Um, but you still get other things sort of looking a bit more like they're meant to. So it's not perfect because, for example, if you're in the talk, you can't see the backgrounds here. You know there is a background because you've got a little icon there, but you then have to come to the talk and go back to grid view. But if you're in the middle of worship and you like the idea of being able to see the words a lot more clearly, I personally think that view is really handy. There are other things as well. You can see them like that. I don't like that myself. So usually, I think for most of us, grid or easy view will be your friends.